Hello. Hello, Mad Lad Militia. All right, well, for today's video, even though it is a live stream, or at least I am live streaming it, I'm going to treat this like a normal video. I do apologize, there won't be any music to entertain you. Well, what we're going to do is an oil change, and then I've also got a an oil filter sandwich plate, and I have got on it is a oil pressure sensor and temperature sensor, which will be part of another video later on. So things you're gonna need. Let's see if I turn the camera on. For the oil, and again, this is for the Fiesta. I like to try to use Motorcraft as much as I can. Not always the case. The last oil that I did was actually the wrong oil, but it's all I had. So, and like I say, the wrong oil is better than no oil. But I don't want to fiddle faddle too much, so we'll just get right into it. I'm just going to put on my gloves, and then we'll get started. So I apologize, mind the weight. Because safety. Gotta have gloves for safety. The car actually should be pretty cool. It's been sitting for a little bit. So the first thing we're going to want to do is come over to the valve cover, and we're going to open up our fill. And that will, what this does is it, I'm trying to think of my audience here. When you shotgun a beer, it creates a better flow of air when you're pouring your oil. And then to crack your oil pan is, at least for the 18 Fiesta, or if you've got a 1.6 liter. For my UK friends, it's going to be something different. And I'm sorry, I didn't do any research on that. But it's be a 5/8. So I think that's also a 15 millimeter, something like that. But let me get you guys in your little cradle over here. I've already got it pretty much lined up over here. Plenty of lighting. Also, you'll need a drain pan, which I have underneath the engine already. I try to get this all set up before we got started. That way, we just get right into it. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. I got it. For the amount of oil you're gonna need, nice, is about 6 quarts, and that'll be enough to replace it. So while we let this drain, we'll come over and move you guys over here. Can you guys see the filter? Oh, there it is. Alright, I don't need my wrench for this. Hold on, I'm experimenting here. Always the best time. We're doing it live. Alright, so now this should also always be about hand tight. You never want to crank on this too much. At least when you're putting it back on, otherwise you're going to struggle. Now I've changed the oil in this car I think almost every time except for 2 times. All right, that's getting pretty loose. Now this is gonna leak too. So if anything, we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the pan itself to fill up, which we're almost full and just about almost empty. But I don't want to jump the gun just yet. But now, so I got this Glowshift. The gauges, I got 3 of them, and I got the plate adapter, because this, for whatever reason, Ford, when they do their oil pressure detection, it's just a switch. So basically it's a dummy light, whether you either got pressure or you don't got pressure. And then the thermostat is buried underneath in the block on the back side of it. And I did not want to tear that apart. It did not seem like worth the work. And then for the coolant temperature, at some point I have a plan to change out the reservoir tank that's on the car now for an expansion tank by Mishimoto. And when I do that, I can tee in a thermostat or a thermometer, and then I can have all 3 gauges all wired up. But until then, I'm just gonna have the 2 gauges going, or at least once I take the time to wire them up. But we'll see how that goes. Another thing you always want to have too is extra rags, because you're definitely gonna want to clean it up whenever you can, if you can. Try not to make a mess. Last thing I need is the wife telling me, you stain the floors. But well, we're almost done here. Now the other thing that this thing comes with, for the other, what do you say? Interesting, is that this adapter, which I did check online. Now I wasn't sure, a lot of stuff they had on there was for like trucks, but they did have this. I talked to one of their guys, and they said that they have the threading for it, so, and then it does fit the filter. So, and it's gonna be like a 1-inch gap or an extension. So hopefully it's not too bad. It's gonna rub up on a couple of the coolant lines, but that's okay. It's not a jagged edge or nothing. All right, so this is just about drained, not completely, but enough that I can put up with it. So put that back on there. And again, this doesn't have to be you don't have to use Hulk strength. That's good. It doesn't need to be super tight. Alright, and now, again, I already got this kind of going, so let's raise up your field of view. Get that field of view up there. Come on. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to slide over the oil pan, drain pan, and then, whoops. I'll take off this old filter. Now another thing I've seen guys make mistakes when you're putting on a new filter is they don't understand how a filter works proper. Oh yeah, full. So a lot of guys will do is, so you get the little holes and the big hole in the middle. I see what guys do is you're supposed to put a little bit of oil on the ring, on your O-ring, which is good. You want to do that. But what I see guys do is they pour oil in the center, and you do not want to do that because the flow of the oil is through the small holes. It goes through the small holes, through the filter, and then back up through the middle. So what you can do by accident is if you start pouring oil in the center, what you'll end up doing is putting particulates or contaminants, anything you may not want in the center, and then when the oil pushes through, it goes straight to your engine, and that can cause problems. Maybe not the first time, but it could be your last time you do it. So get this out of the way. Okay, so next, we'll clean this up a little bit. Just try to clean it up the best we can as we prepare to install the Glowshift adapter, which should just slide right over the old, or the old threading. And the way the adapter works is, so you have the adapter with the O-ring towards the engine, and then you'll have this, which just slides over, oh, the other way, like this. So then this will thread onto your oil, I guess the female, or the male end, I suppose. And then this male end, you just thread your filter onto it like that. So, but this has to go on first. Let's get some fresh oil. What am I doing? Weird. Not even giving up the good stuff. How dare I? Okay, that's set. Get some fresh Motorcraft 5W20. Something I also want to make sure that I do make very clear is that this is not a sponsored video by Glowshift, nor when I install the gauges, I will not be sponsored. But who knows, that could change. I doubt it. Okay. So I'm going to have the sending units facing up. I think that's going to be the best way to go about it. And we'll do it something like these. I can't see what I'm doing. I can barely see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, we're threading it on now. And also to make sure, you want to have your sending units in a direction that's easy to get to, so they don't get in the way of anything. I'm going to try to spin it. I'm going to move this oil pan out of the way. It's not really leaking anything anymore. What I wanted to say was to make sure, okay, I'm not blocking your view, that when you're putting these on, your sending units, that they don't, or they do have some kind of Teflon on the threading. That's gonna save you a lot of headache later. Now this, okay. Yeah, that's about the best spot it's gonna go in. Now the issue that I have with this is that I don't have a socket big enough to fit over that. I've got a socket that can take off a steering wheel, but not one for this, surprising. So let me see if I can get some more light in here. So where am I at? Here we go. So what I got is these channel locks, and I hope I don't strip the crap out of it, because if I do that, they ain't coming off. And not the worst thing in the world, but I definitely want to have the ability to take it back off if I have to. And I don't have a better view for you guys. I'll try not to make this video too much longer. We're almost done. Nope, not on the threads. You dummy. Well, you know what? Let's do this. So that's on there. Let me get a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil, put that on the O-ring for the... And what this really does is just helps it from sticking when you're taking it off. So, oh, that's not bad at all. Hopefully. There we go. Okay. Start to get tight. Now, the instructions say not to make it too tight, which I probably would agree with. And the fact that, well, what I'm trying to do here is use the filter to my advantage and make sure that that brass is on there, as the Germans would say, guten Tag. That's not true. I just made that up. It's a play on good and tight. Okay. I'll do a couple more little quarter turns, maybe not. Okay. Well, that feels pretty good. So now, what I'm gonna do is I got the bung for the oil pan back on. I got our oil filter up on there with the adapter plate. I'm trying to see, hold on, let me see if I can get you guys a good view of that. There it is. Sort of, kinda. Let's get back to the top. Okay. Do we have a good view of it down there? No. Okay. So I'm gonna put you guys. I don't know where to put you. Well, next what we're gonna do is fill it back up. I'm too cheap to use a funnel. That's no good. Yeah, there's no good at camera angles, is there? gonna spend more time trying to get a good camera angle than actually do anything. How about that? You can't really see where I'm pouring, but that's fine. At least you're up there. All right, so 6 quarts. We're just gonna eyeball it. And then after this, start her up and start looking for leaks. That's pretty much all there is to it, bud. And then I'll do a review video after a little while. I got lots of reviews to do still. Even for the suspension that I got. I don't know when I bought that. It was back in like 2020 when I bought that. The $500 coilover kit from Rev 9. Rev 9, what are they called? Hyper Street 2s or something? And then I'm gonna see if I can one-hand this. I want to show you guys a life hack. Or I could just spill oil everywhere. All right, well, here's something that I wasn't taught. Not by my father anyway. But when the way these bottles are designed, you're supposed to pour it like this with the neck at the top, and you have almost no issues pouring it. So I made a little mess. It's typical. Just clean it up. Might as well spread it all over the valve cover. Give it a nice clean. So I don't know when the last time this was cleaned, because it's dirty. She's a dirty girl. But that's what'll happen. You work in the oil field. Dust and dirt, crap everywhere. So I'm not going for 10 out of 10 detailing here, just something. Make the best of it. So now that that's done, put our cap back on. Let's clean that up too, just cause. Easy peasy. All right. Doesn't see nothing leaking just yet, but let's get it. Let's go start her up and see. Oops. Let's see how she does. I don't have the keys. All right. I guess she's hang tight. Didn't want to burden you with any of that anyway. Clean it up a little bit. see that. But I'm pretty sure that's from what I spilled. This right here is where I was concerned. And we're not leaking. So I think we're good. All right, well, that was that was kind of interesting. I've never seen anyone do a live stream working on their car, so that was kind of different. I was trying to just kind of see what that was like. Not too bad. I don't think not too bad. But well, I appreciate you guys watching. Anyone that likes or subscribes to this from this video gets a gold star. And if you take that gold star and you go to SR71-Industries.com and pick up your Mad Lad Militia merch and become an official Mad Lad crew. I appreciate everything. You guys are awesome, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.